There you go. That's better. Can anyone hear me? And I don't think anybody. s- Thank you, Ricky. Cannot hear you. I just fixed it, Ricky. So anyway, jeez, what a horrible night. But yeah, I'm thinking though the Philadelphia Water Dogs now have shown that they are tough. They there's not really teams that can play with them. They came out tonight and they stomped a mud hole in Boston, right here in Philly. But let's trickle back some, right? Let's talk about this Phillies team off to a hot start. And you're fighting Phillies. Your Philadelphia Phillies have now shown you that they picked themselves up from last week's debacle. Last weekend, they're in Pittsburgh. This team hit a wall. This franchise hit a wall last week. They couldn't get themselves off the ground, and they need to bounce back. And they did. And they go face off against the Cubbies, winning it 2 out of 3 against the Cubbies. Jesus Lazaro, when there was big questions about him, if he was if he was going to get ready to fall apart, how was he going to bounce back? And he did. After 2 weeks, he did with 10 Ks on Wednesday. 10 Ks. On Wednesday. 10 Ks. Ricky, you got to turn up your volume there, bud. It says I still can't hear you. Are you sure it's not you? But anyway, this Philadelphia Phillies team took care of business at home. This Philadelphia Phillies team took care of business at home. And now they're playing against a Blue Jays team that's tough. They took care of the Blue Jays, starting off on the right track. This has been the best version of the Phillies I've seen, to be honest with you. The hitting's been great. The pitching was great. Offense and defense were great. I loved everything I saw from this Phillies offense tonight and defense. There was some a couple plays like I mentioned earlier. If it on assault, if you didn't see it, Ricky, my volume is up, bud. But anyway, um, the Phils, like I said, did their part. Star Wars, can you hear me, or is it Ricky? Is Ricky messing with me? I'm trying to do a show here, and Ricky keeps on telling me my volume's down. Is he messing with me? But anyway, let me try and talk about the Phillies now. Yeah, see, I that's what I thought. See, Ricky's messing with me there. Love you, Ricky. But let's talk about this, okay? The Philadelphia Phillies again won 2 out of 3 against the Cubbies. Looked really really sharp. Jesus Luzardo 10 Ks, bounce back. He needed this bounce back. He needed it. And then tonight, Hamlin against the Blue Jays. This team went in and took care of the Blue Jays, and the Blue Jays are top 4 in the AL, the top four team, and the Phillies are winning. The Phillies hit a brick wall last week, so not all is lost. You're going to go through the ebb and flows of baseball. They're not a bad team made tonight, other than the Kyle Schwarber deep to center home run. This has been small ball. But now I have a big question. Where does Bryce Harper fit now? Or does he not fit anywhere? Because know the old saying is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I don't know if I want him in his lineup right now. Like, they played so well tonight on both sides of the ball. They looked great. Offensively, defensively, they looked great. Ricky says they didn't have. Star Wars says they didn't have Wheeler last time we played the Blue Jays. Right, that's true. And also through the course of the show, with everybody, please chime in and tell me. Like I said, I'm going to talk about the Phillies. I'm going to talk about the Water Dogs, and I also want to talk about Friday 13th movies. Like, it's Friday 13th, and we should be talking about them. But right now, we have to talk about this Phillies team and how good they are. They went through a rough patch. Tonight, Alec Bohm, 1 for 4. They had 3 doubles tonight. Schwarber going deep to center. The only person that really struggled tonight was Castellanos. That's it. That's the only person that struggled. But, you seen the way Ranger Suarez played tonight. Look at the way Ranger Suarez played. Again, 6 Ks and only gave up 4 hits, 1 walk. But his changeup and sinkers were nasty tonight. They were inside. He was painting away. He was painting away on the inside with the sinkers and changeups. Ranger Suarez played really, really well. And then their defense, the infielders, outfielders, were making big plays tonight. Max Kepler made a great play. Castellanos made a great play in the field. Alec Bohm stepped up. And that's another thing too, Star Wars. They played well disciplined baseball tonight. I mean, this is the best I've seen them play well at the plate against Kevin Kuzman, right? That was one. This is one of the better pitchers in the league, and they worked him. The offense of this Phillies team worked him tonight, getting the full counts, and they worked him tonight. They were getting the pitches they wanted. Again, three doubles. JT Remuto turning around a little bit, huh? Become more consistent with contact. Trey Turner, we know he's due for a hit. Alec Bohm has been hitting the ball pretty decently. Guys are stepping up. The only person that struggled tonight was Castellanos. 0 for 3, two strikeouts. Not good. But you know that again, he got himself a walk. Now the home plate umpire, his strike zones every inning was very consistent. One, he stretched it, then he closed it at times. I don't understand it. Ricky says I have a question for the Phillies. Okay, throw it away. Star Wars checking in. They didn't swing outside the strike zone. No, they didn't. They played very well there. Even Kemp is hitting pretty good. That's what I'm saying. Star Wars. Otto Kemp. Where does Bryce Harper now fit? Where does he fit? Otto Kemp is playing very, very well. He's a puppy, and he made two hits. He had a double tonight. He had his first RBI tonight. So if you're getting consistent contact out of the new guy and everyone else and all systems go, I mean, again, where does he fit? Where does Bryce Harper fit now? And you can see the look in his face. He's concerned a little bit. Now, I get it. This is Bryce Harper we're talking about. I get it. But he could be in some serious trouble. He could be in some serious trouble. I mean, and there was a play that Otto Kemp made tonight at first that was pretty decent. It was the throw from Alec Bohm. So Kemp's hitting the ball pretty good. Kepler is starting to make more contact. Marsh has been a grinder. Marsh tonight with a double, a sack. I mean, he's been a grinder this week. I mean, going back to what I want to say Tuesday night's game against the Cubbies, or no, Monday night game against the Cubbies. Like he came up in extra innings and came up with a clutch hit. This is why Marsh is still showing why he's around this clubhouse. You know, I appreciate the likes coming in from TikTok. Thank you so very much. I definitely appreciate it. Keep on hitting those like buttons. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you so much. But yeah, going back to this offense, going through the Phillies offense tonight, Remuto has found himself 2 for 3 with a double. Had a nice little walk. Thanks, Chris. So again, if this Phillies team could click like this now, and you put away a good Cubs team, you're off to the right track, putting away the Blue Jays, shutting them out. I mean, this is how you know you're a good team. You're going to hit a wall here and there. And they embarrass themselves out in Pittsburgh to the point this team turned things around. That's what they needed was their day break to get themselves clicking again. So maybe that beatdown and the embarrassment beatdown they got from the Pittsburgh Pirates was probably needed to wake this team up. A good kick in the pants. Now this team is clicking on all cylinders on both sides of the ball. Guys are hitting 1 through 9. The pitches have been great. And like I said, I want everyone to chime in. I am going to be talking in a little bit about the Water Dogs. And I also want to know through the course of the show, what's your favorite Friday the 13th movie? I mean, this is Friday the 13th. And I believe there's like 12 Friday the 13th movies that came out. And I can't believe I wasted $20. And this was in the early 2000s, by the way. I wasted $20 to go see Jason X, where Jason pretty much becomes a Power Ranger and destroys everyone on the ship. I couldn't believe I wasted my hard money back when I was just a youngster to go see that crap. Horrible, horrible movie. But getting back to the Phillies, yeah. Um, what the Star Wars say here? Star Wars checking and goes, I like what I saw tonight. 8-0. Do you think we could do it without Harper? Part of me thinks so. I'm starting to believe that we can handle business without Harper. Why not? I mean, I get it. It's Bryce, right? We know what Bryce can do when he gets on. When he starts cooking, he's good, and we know when if he can crush the ball. We get those things. We get we're talking about one of the top baseball players in the world. I know and I understand that this is a premier player. But this team's where does he fit now? Where is he going to go back into the field? Kemp's looking pretty good at first. Where does he go? I don't know. And if, for the ones who are watching me on TikTok, make sure you give me a follow. Definitely would appreciate it. Um, where does this team go with Harper? Where does he fit? Maybe you put Castellanos. Maybe you because that might you might find your niche there by putting Castellanos in center field. Have Harper go back to the right field. Let Kent play first. But I don't know. Some questions. I'm not going to jump way too early. Again, this is had they've now won 3 out of 4 games this week. 3 out of 4 against decent opponents, and I like it. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Star Wars. Where's Harper going to go from here? Like, if Otto Kemp is going to continue to play well again, like I did the post game show earlier, and I forget it was another listener chimed in, and he was like, and he was saying that so far it looks like Otto Kemp swings at things that are low, and if you paid attention to Kevin Guzman, like he got a lot of the Phillies batters start chasing after that low splitter of his. It wasn't just Otto Kent that was swinging at the low splitter, pitches. It was, a couple of, Nick Castellanos, a couple other guys did it. But if Otto Kemp continues to play well and learn and continues to develop into the star he's destined to become, and he's continually getting hot with the hot bat, where does like I'll even take it back further, right? If Otto Kemp develops and becomes the star he needs to be and develops with a hot bat and he's playing great with a great at first base as being where does Bryce Harper fit? That's going to be the big question. Where does he go? Star Wars says Bohm has to be third base. Yeah, he has to be your third baseman for sure. And I'm glad Hernandez is going. Yeah, me too. I don't need Hernandez anymore. That part needs to come to an end. But like I want to go back and talk about this team. Huge, huge win tonight. 8-0. 8-0 over the Blue Jays, who've been steaming as of late. Fourth best team in the AL, and the Phillies took care of business. The team looks like they're back on track. Luzardo, who struggled for the last 2 weeks, looks like he's back on pace with 10 Ks on Wednesday afternoon. This offense tonight and the defense, the infielders, the outfielders doing their thing. It's been great. And get I just like I said, I can't stress enough the Phillies. The Phillies lineup was really, really disciplined at the plate, getting the pitches they wanted, and making great contact. Really working Kevin Guzman, working him early with full counts. There was like I think like 2 or 3 times he was in a full count situation. He had 4 walks under his belt tonight. 4 walks. So again, the Phillies were working him tonight, making great contact, and then Otto Kemp had a couple hits tonight. He had his first double. That's what you like to see. So I don't know what this team's going to look like tomorrow. I don't know what this team's going to look like on Father's Day. But this is again signs of a good team. This is going to gear you up for the Mets series soon. But the big question for me is if Otto Kemp is going to continue to get hot and play well, where does Bryce Harper going to fit in this lineup? And I get it. He's the he's the money man. But also, I don't know where I'm going to put him at. Where does he fit best? I don't know. I don't know. They're playing very well. We'll see what tomorrow and the rest of Father's Day weekend does for this team. And I also, like I said, I want to get into the Water Dogs a little bit. But what are again? You've seen the Phillies getting back on track. Philly fans, where are you at with this team? Because now we're going to be going into the first half of baseball. Are you confident enough this team can make a run? And not just a like my expectations is like it's World Series or bust for me. That's it. I only have one. Star Wars is asking who is the Phillies' best catcher of all. Who is the Phillies? That's a good question. Who are the Phillies? What's their identity? You know, and again, to me, it's all going to come down to the bullpen that make it or break it. If this bullpen can survive through the dog days of summer, I think that's going to be the big question mark moving in because you're not always going to be able to run your starters 7 innings, 8 innings. I mean, the stars are going deep, which are great. I'm glad that they're holding their own. They're playing decent, but at some point the bullpen's going to have to come in and do their thing, and that's where you have to bite your nails a little bit because I don't know, man. And Steve, to answer your second, the best catcher of all, I guess, of all time for this Phillies team. Ah, man, I can. There's so many. Chooch, Dutch, so many great ones that came through. But and again, for all you Friday the 13th movie lovers out there, please chime in. Let me know. Let me know, like, let me know about like the first time you caught yourself watching a Friday 13th movie. Like I said, I watched. There was like a summer where I spent watching all those movies, and I don't know why, just to check them out. I was watching Friday 13th movies. Like I said, the corniest one of them all. I can't believe I wasted $20 back in early 2000s. Was watching Jason X. I wasted $20. That was like early 2000 too, right? Horrible movie. Uh, then my boss has checked in. Hey, hon. Thank you. Thanks for the like. But again, where are you with this Phillies team? Where are you with the Water Dogs? The Water Dogs are off to a great start, 2-0. Let's talk a little Water Dogs, shall we? Arf, arf, arf. Ricky saying, Pat, I don't know where Joe is. I don't know who is Joe. Ricky, who's Joe? I don't know a Joe. Do you know a Joe? All right. All right. But anyway, I mean, again, and we could still talk about Phillies. We could still talk about, again, if you're watching me for the first time, talking Phillies tonight, talking about Friday 13th movies, chime in. The Philadelphia Water Dogs, again, a huge Joe Howe. Dude, I don't know Joe Howe like that. I don't know. Again, Philadelphia Water Dogs put away the Boston Cannons tonight. Philadelphia Water Dogs undefeated. Finally, they're playing like they were supposed to. They're playing like a true contender. They put away the one the only one of the only undefeated teams that were in the league. A tough Boston Cannons team. And this Philadelphia Water Dogs team put them away. Michael Sowers, 2 goals, 5 assists. Michael Sowers is just beating teams with his vision. I mean, he's finding guys open all the time, down low. Immediately, he goes to his partner in crime, Cameron McCardle. What does Cameron McCardle do? Shoots it down low. Goal. I mean, Michael Sowers, his vision on the field is crazy good. Getting guys open. drawing the 2-and-1 defenders, finding guys open in tight windows. Like he is a true superstar of the league, and he's showing you why. I mean, we're only 2 games in. He's already got 15 points, leading the league in assists with 12 assists already. Cameron McCardle leading the league right now with 7 goals. Definitely appreciate up to 133 likes on TikTok. Definitely appreciate it. Keep them coming. I would definitely love to appreciate it. Um, I again, Cameron McCardle with 3 goals tonight. He had a hat trick. Do you know who's running there? Tom McVeigh. Tom McVeigh. 4 goals. 4 goals tonight. Ricky saying, "What time is live tomorrow? What if you're looking for the Phillies post game show immediately after the Phillies game?" So you have a lot going on. The Phillies looking great. Phillies playing like a well-oiled machine right now. The Water Dogs, like I said, who would have thought this? Water Dogs with the way they started things last year. Look how the Water Dogs started things last year. Off to the slow pace. Only two. I think they were 2-8. Now they're clicking. This summer can be fun. Summer's going to be a lot of fun. What's your impressions? Have you yet to catch any of the Water Dog action? Now, you might have to go on YouTube to watch it, but I mean, they're solid. This is a solid squad. I love what I saw from the Water Dogs tonight. And I want to say it was Jack Hanna who may have made the goal of the night, where he turns between 2 defenders and shoots the ball low between his legs backwards. It was sick. It was sick. That's pretty decent, man. That was a nasty goal. But this is why you guys need to get invested in other teams. I don't. I'm just not saying they're not taking anything from the Phils, but you got the Union who are cooking right now. You have the Philadelphia Water Dogs who are cooking right now. The Phillies are playing well right now. This is what you wanted. This is what we signed up for. So the Philadelphia Water Dogs, though, are going to be coming off a back-to-back, right? They played against Boston tonight. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they lose tomorrow. They could possibly lose. They could possibly lose to Denver tomorrow. And by the way, if which scares me is Pat Kavanaugh, right? Because Pat Kavanaugh has won not one but 2 NCAA championships right here in Philly with Notre Dame. So if there's any guy who's not intimidated to come into Philly and win, would be that guy. Can you post the Phillies lineup on Facebook? I don't have the card yet there, Ricky. But yeah. So again, the Water Dogs looking great, playing well. Again, 2-0. Great start for your Philadelphia Water Dogs. They demolished. And now Boston did make it they were trying to make it a comeback late in the fourth, but the Union, I think, outplayed the Boston Cannons for 3 quarters. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. I gotta get rocking and rolling here. I want to say thank you to everyone who's joined me. Um, I gotta cut it short. I got little typical difficulties going on in the background, but I want to say thank you to everyone again. Stay tuned with me Sunday morning. See you, everyone.